Welcome everyone to this episode of the Counselor's Desk. Has anybody been waiting for part 2 of disagreeing with your husband? Or should I say disagreeing with your spouse, because it's the same thing. If you've been waiting for that, well, here it comes. This is Dr. Beatrice Tembi, and I'm welcoming you to the Counselor's Desk. I'll be right back. You know, last edition, which was the part 1 of disagreeing with your husband, I talked about the type 1 husband and the type 2 husband. And I remember the story of somebody who had a little issue with the wife. You know, they built a house and the wife wanted to park into the house, and the husband did not want to park into the house. The husband said, "Oh, well, you know, it's not really completed. We need to still do this and still do that. The finishing is not all right, and this and that." And the wife said, "But we could move into the house. We could, you know, arrange it. We could do, you know, some little adjustments, move in, and then be arranging it while we are there." So this argument went on for some time. One day the man came home only to find out that the lady had packed everything, her things and her children's belonging, and she was ready to take off. The man said, "But he said, I'm going to our house." "Why are you going to, madam?" "I'm going to our house, the house you built for us." "I'm moving." And before he knew it, she had gone. So this guy was left alone in the former house where they were on rents. The guy came to my husband and said, that woman has packed out. She has left me in the house." So my husband said, "Where has she gone to?" She has gone to our house. "Our house? Your house?" "Say yes." You know, he was trying to give those excuses. My husband said, "Please follow her." Just to follow her. You know, by the time the man went to the house, this lady had arranged everything. She had even started a little piggery behind the house, or a place where they will keep their you know, poultry. She had done so much work in their compound, in their land. And this man just had to follow. You know, all of this is because of the different types, the different temperaments. I'm going to tell you the temperament of this guy, and he's a type 3 guy. Okay, the wife is the pushful one, is the one who was, you know, an achiever, wanted to achieve something. The guy was this type I'm going to explain to you right now. Good. So type 3, how are the type 3 husbands, or how are the type 3 personalities? They are calm, they are cool, they are well balanced, they are collected. Okay, they live a consistent life. They don't want to be rumbled. They don't want to be disturbed. Okay, my dear young lady, your husband could be this kind of a man who is not usually in a hurry to do anything. He's so composed, and he resists change. Type 3 husbands or type 3 people, they just like to be stabilized and they don't want to move. They resist change a lot. At times they are undecisive. Should I or should I not? And it takes such a long time to decide. Okay? I'm sorry to let you know, but they are hardly goal-oriented. They are not goal-oriented. They lack self-motivation. In fact, to move out from where they are, to change their status quo is quite an issue with them. So they resist change. It's hard to get them going or moving. And then, although they resist so much change and they don't want to be pushed, you would think that, well, since he doesn't have self-motivation, let me push him he doesn't want to be pushed. At the same time, doesn't want to be pushed. So what do you do? And then he usually dampens your enthusiasm. You can come up with something, oh, we are going to do this, we are going to achieve this, and he calmly looks at you and then just utters one word or asks one question that will just dampen everything down. So, is that how your husband is? Then he is a type 3 husband. Okay? So, this our type 3 husband I just explained had to be, told by a higher, somebody higher up in his own mind. My husband had to tell him, follow your wife. The wife found it difficult to get him moving, but some other person had to tell him that you have to move. Now, what do you do with this kind of a husband? If you have this kind of a slow person as a husband, not moved by anything, how do you influence him? How do you disagree with his points? One, the first thing I would like to let you know is that this kind of people, some people call them team builders. They like to work in a group. They like a team. They like teamwork. Your husband is looking at you as a teammate. And when you say no to him, if he brings up something and you quickly kicks against it, he is disturbed because his partner is not cooperating, and that can unstabilize him a lot. So what do you do, sis? You let him know that you are not against him, but you are not for the opinion. Separate his opinion from him. Okay? When you are saying no to an opinion, let him know that it is not no to him. It is no to the opinion. That is more important to a type 3 person than to any of the types. Okay? Because for him, teamwork and peace are very, very important. Good. So you are not fighting him. You should know that you just have a different opinion. You are not disagreeing with him, but you are disagreeing with the opinion. Let him know that your relationship is not going to be hampered by your refusal of an opinion. Okay? That is important to him. Let him know. So this thing that people, wives or people just say no to others is not a good thing. Before you want to say a no, it's always good to know who you are talking to, what type you are talking to, and know how to put your point. I will really discourage NO to be the first word in any disagreeing. If you want to disagree on something, don't use no first in any of the types. Okay? Don't use no first in any of the types. And how do you present your opinion to a type 3 husband? The first thing you have to do is that in order not to frustrate him and bring out his quiet stubbornness. Listen, type 3 persons can be very stubborn. If he's not budging, he's not budging. If he's not moving, he's not moving. So in order not to frustrate him and bring out his quiet stubbornness, when you are suggesting, bringing up a point, don't suggest a big change at a time. Bring your changes gradually, point by point. For example, this lady, instead of just packing up everything and moving, she would have done something like, okay, for today, can we pack the living room? Maybe we can pack the chairs in the living room, Or maybe we can start removing some things in the kitchen. You see what I'm saying? When you just say we are packing everything today, that is like too much for him at one time, because he's not somebody who likes change, who likes change. You are rumbling his status quo, his stable condition, and he will not want to receive it. So come piecemeal, bit by bit. Don't suggest a big change at a time. Okay? Even if you suggest the big change at one time, telling that we can start by doing this and by doing that, and that you are going to work together with him as a team. In fact, let him know that you guys are doing it together. You're not telling him, do this, do that. In fact, that's another thing I would like to discourage here. This issue of a woman always telling the husband, do this, do that, it's not a good thing, and especially for this kind of a husband who doesn't like to change his position on issues. Okay, so the next thing is, explain to him why you think something should be done the way you are proposing, and most importantly, don't push him to do something at your own timing. Okay, give the proposal and tell him that, okay, so this is what I think we should be doing. When do you think we should do it? If he gives you a time, when that time comes, just start doing it. You told me to do this today, that's why I am doing. Because he resists you pushing him. Okay, and just let him know that you are together working as a team. That's a type 3 person. Okay, so what did I say? Teamwork is important to him. Peace is important to him. Don't push him, and don't suggest big changes at a time. Break them up in different sections. Are we together? Great. And then your husband may be not any of the 3 types, but the last type here, which we call type 4. A type 4 personality, your husband or your wife. Okay, this kind of personalities are deep, thoughtful, and analytical. Anything you tell him, he will analyze it. He always likes to read between the lines. It could be a strength, it could be a weakness, I don't know. And he sets very high standards, and he wants everything to be done right. He's almost a perfectionist. For me, according to my evaluation, it's not, this particular kind of husband is very challenging to live with. Let me put it that way. More than the others, as far as I am concerned. But some people don't mind. Some people think that is the first one that is challenging to live with, type 1. Something is that it's type 3. But this type 4 person, you need to really study him well to know how to live with him well. Okay, he sets very high standards. He wants everything to be done right. He is a perfectionist. He wants to know details. He's concerned about details, and he always sees the problems, why it may not work. Whatever you are trying to suggest, he will tell you it may not work because of this, that. He analyzes everything and is trying to let you know that it's not going to work. Okay? And on the other hand, of course, he always remembers negatives, the negative things. You see, this thing you are trying to tell me, it happened at this time, and this is how this was the outcome, and I'm not going to go into it again. And then he is very introspective, and he's not people oriented. He can keep to himself. He's suspicious of everybody because he analyzes everybody. He analyzes the look, he analyzes the smile, he analyzes the frown, he analyzes everything, and so he's suspicious of people. Okay, because of that, he is always hesitant to start a project. That thing you are trying to suggest, he will be very hesitant to do it. And he spends too much time planning, just trying to be perfect. Hard to please. Okay, great. Whew, do you have this kind of a husband or a wife? No problem. You can still use wisdom. You disagree with a type 4 husband. by presenting reasonable facts. Facts. Why you think their proposal or their method may not succeed. A type 4 husband wants to succeed. That is his own. He wants to succeed. If something will not succeed at the end, he will not even start it. So you want to say no to a proposal he has brought. Tell him why you think it will not succeed. Using facts. To be specific. Use names. Use numbers. Use statistics. Okay? Don't just say no. This thing will not work. Why? Okay? And then give him time to think things out. Just like the type 3 husband. They need time to think things out for themselves. Give him time to think things out without pressurizing him. Do it this way, do it this way. Or don't do it, don't do it. Have I not told you that you should not do it? Calling him by phone. You are still going to do that? Don't pressurize them. Okay? Great. They need facts. And truly enough, with this kind of a husband, if you can just present the facts the way they are, and give them time, they'll understand why you said no to what he was proposing. They'll understand. They're analytical. Okay? Now, and don't just say a no. In any of these husbands, or anybody at all, don't say a no to somebody without proposing something. If somebody comes up with an idea, don't say no. If you are not for the idea, always make sure you propose something. Okay? If not, you will just look like some, enemy of progress. How do you propose something? First of all, as I've said before, facts, details, correct detail, the correctness, assurance of success. Please, when you are dealing with a type 4 person, tell him how to accomplish what you are proposing. You don't just give the end result or the goal or what you want him to achieve like you do for the type 1. No. Tell him what you want you guys to achieve, but tell him the details, should I say, route that you are going to use to get there. Okay? The detailed route that you are going to use to get there. Tell him how, what he should do not to fail. What you guys will do to minimize the risk of failing. You must have noticed that we need wisdom. The Bible says in Proverbs 14:1 that a wise woman builds her home. Well, in the King James Version it's her house, but in the New Living Translation it's her home. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down with her hands, and I think also with her mouth. So, we need wisdom to build our homes and our marriages. You must have noticed that for a type 1 husband, you have to be wise enough to tell him what he should do to achieve his overall goal quickly and properly. For a type 2 husband, you have to tell him who else is doing and how it will benefit him, because it has benefited others. For a type 3 husband, you have to tell him why you want him to unravel his stable condition. Why? Why should he do that? And you need to let him know that his status quo will not be shaken too much. And for the type 4 husband, you need to be able to tell him what methods he will use in order not to fail in this thing you are proposing. Okay? Please, again, never you say no first thing in a sentence. Start somewhere and let the no come in the middle of the sentence. Okay? Depending upon what type of husband you have. And then never you say a no without proposing something. Good. Now, I just want you to subscribe, okay, and click the bell. I want you to like and to share with others. God bless you as you do this so that others will get blessed. See you next time.